Greetings, dear viewer. Maternity is a glorious thing, since all mankind has been conceived, born and nourished of women. Mothers do the heavy lifting. They go through the morning sickness. Their bodies make all the changes. Their bodies take a beating. They bring a new life into the world. They nurture the child. Have you ever seen a toddler topple over? They get up crying and 99% of the time head for mom. They form a bond that is unbreakable. Eventually, a bond is formed with dad, but it's not the same. Love, caring, partnership. Teaching another person to live and succeed. A new family part made up of you. A grandchild who loves to be with you. A family who visits you in your old age, just because they want to. Watching your child succeed and solve problems. Having a grandchild when you are retired and have plenty of time to play with a little one or two without the mothering responsibilities. Probably a lot more too. A distraught husband whose wife died after giving birth to triplets has described her final moments with her two eldest daughters, saying, "This was the happiest I've ever seen her." 2 days after Kansas mom Cassie Roth gave birth to triplets, she woke up at 4 a.m. with a sharp pain in her chest and a racing heartbeat. Her devoted husband, Joey, rushed her to the hospital, where a CT scan showed she had a blood clot in her lungs. After additional tests and 2 days in the hospital, she was released. "We thought we had it behind us," says Joey, 34. She felt really good when she left. The couple immediately went to the NICU to hold their babies Asher, Levi, and Piper for a few short hours, and then they made 2.5-hour drive back to their farmhouse in Clay Center, Kansas, to see their older two daughters, Tenley, 2, and Chloe, 6. Roth said after Cassie discovered she was carrying triplets, a high-risk pregnancy, she declined to take fertility drug to induce her early labor and instead opted to carry the baby for 34 weeks. He said nothing would get in her way of doing that. She'd do anything possible to do that, and that's exactly what she did. She was forced to move closer to a hospital for intensive care when she had complications. However, in November, she began having complications and was asked to move to Wichita, Kansas, 117 miles away. To be closer to medical help she would need. She had to leave Joey and her two daughters behind. On January 29, Cassie prematurely gave birth to triplets Asher, Levi, and Piper by C-section, and the new family were kept in hospital for observation. Cassie got to hold her newborn triplets briefly in the NICU before she began experiencing chest pains. All set to go home with her and her family, she remained for another few days and was put on blood thinners. A large blood clot was discovered in her lung, which Roth said was almost certainly caused by the intense pregnancy and C-section delivery. She was only home for a short time and had a few minutes with her older girls. After further scans revealed no other plots, she was allowed to go home for 4 days later, while the triplets remained in the hospital for observation from being born prematurely. Just before leaving, Cassie was allowed to hold the triplets for the first time and what would also turn out to be the last time. However, she was so happy to be home, and she actually did some household chores before catching up with her beautiful girls. When they returned home from the sitters minutes after her reunion, she was frantically rushed to the hospital with chest pains, but only 5 minutes later, Cassie began experiencing severe chest pains again, and the couple realized the clot had returned. Rod said he rushed his wife to the car and drove as fast as he could to the nearest hospital, but she fell unconscious on the passenger seat next to him and never woke up. Rod says his wife was the kindest soul he ever met. Since the triplets have returned home and Rod has been relying on a string of relatives, friends and carers to help him look after his 5 children. They're happy in the nursery that Cassie designed for herself. Well-wishers have also rallied around online and raised more than $85,000 to support Rod, who is determined to stay in the house that he and Cassie had planned as their forever home. "She'll just be missed so much," said Joey. "Never in my life have I met a soul as kind as she was. There were so many people that are here to help me," Joey said. He's also encouraging friends and family to send in stories about his wife so he can prepare a memory book for his younger children who may never remember their mother. "This will be a great way to help the girls learn more about their mother," he said. Just a couple of hours before she died, Cassie hung up a yellow painting with white text that read, "You're my sunshine." Her artwork is just one of the many things that Joey will make sure to tell his children about. Pictures of Cassie are displayed throughout the house. And just the other day, 2-year-old Tenley said, "I miss mom." After Tenley was born, Cassie said, "If something ever happens to me, just make sure the kids know how much I love them." That's stuck in my head, Joey shares. "That's the one thing I'm going to make sure I tell them all the time," Mother's love is unconditional, unimaginable. She has given her flesh and blood for you. She had suffered 10 months burying you inside her womb, and yet she loves you. People try to heal themselves from pain, but a mother always wants to carry your pain as hers. A mother cannot be replaced by anyone. She loves you more than you love yourself. Let a child be loved and emotionally bonded to a devoted caregiver is essential for that child's emotional, mental and intellectual development. This is not sentimentality. This has been demonstrated by numerous studies. A person who does not have a loving bond with a caregiver as a child grows into a stunted adult on many levels, one who not only has a lesser ability to bond with their own child, but also finds themselves unable to form lasting romantic attachments or to bounce back from setbacks of any kind. This lack of attachment actually affects the developing brain. The good news? This bond does not have to be with the child's mother. Mothers may be dead, physically absent or emotionally ill, and there's still hope for the child's future, as long as they form that deep emotional attachment to some other human being. She gave her entire life for you. What else do you need to love her more? Mothers are next to God who sacrificed their life for their children. You don't have to buy her luxurious goods to make her happy. Say I love you to her, and that will be the best gift in her life. Another way to spread love and being grateful, a mom who gave birth to triplets after years of struggling to conceive with her partner has described parenting as like a conveyor belt sometimes. Vicky and Jamie O'Donnell said they had struggled to conceive for years before the birth of their miracle baby's son, Phoenix, last year. But just a few months after their little boy's arrival, 28-year-old Vicky was delighted to find out she was pregnant for a second time. The couple were eventually given the incredible news that she was expecting triplets. Violet Tarney and Ruby Ann's arrival in June this year meant that for just over a month, they were parents to 4 babies under the age of 1. People see us walking toward them with the pram and you can see their faces glowing, thinking, "Look, it's twins," Vicky said. Then they see the 3rd baby and they're like, "Oh my goodness, it's triplets." "I honestly have no idea how many nappies we go through, Vicky. The babies are all in different sizes too, so we have about 3 boxes on the go at any time. I absolutely love it, though. I honestly would not change it for the world." Vicky and husband Jamie had tried to conceive for years before they welcomed Phoenix into the world, but had some trouble along the way due to Vicky having polycystic ovary syndrome. The couple were convinced they would never conceive naturally, and thanks to some hormonal health, they got pregnant with Phoenix, who Vicky described as her miracle baby. Just 6 months after his arrival on July 23, 2020, the couple were told the amazing news that their unexpected and unplanned pregnancy was in fact triplets. Vicky said, "I was screaming at first. The woman said it was twins, and then I said, you should look again, because if it's twins, what is this other one? And I was just sobbing." 3 months on from the birth of Tarney, Violet and Ruby Ann, Vicky has shared her experience of parenting the triplets and now 1-year-old Phoenix. "I would say the hardest part is when all 4 of them want feeding at the same time," she said. "So if 3 babies are unsettled and want to feed and Phoenix wants his dinner, that is definitely challenging, and I don't like to hear them crying. That makes me work up. Then that can be quite challenging. But I'm never on my own. I'm always with my mom, or if she has popped out, she is always close by. We live with mom and my dad, and they're superheroes, and the best part of it is just having them all. I just love them so much. I wouldn't change anything." Women with twin pregnancies are more likely to have pregnancy health problems and complications like gestational diabetes, preeclampsia, premature labor and bleeding. Twins who share a placenta might have extra complications. Pregnancy is just a God gift which isn't experienced by every woman who has not experienced it yet. They know exactly the feeling of not having a baby. So fortunately or unfortunately, if you're getting pregnant, then just think of it as a blessing. Please accept the blessings of God. Pregnancy is a happy moment for every woman. It's an unforgettable journey for everyone at home. It's a lovely time to enjoy every moment with an upcoming baby. When you are getting pregnant, everyone gives you extra attention, care and kindness, and you feel pampered. This is the time when you need to give extra care and attention to yourself. Also, as it's not only about you. It's about both. Where you are carrying a small creature in your womb. For a lot of women, you've spent your entire sexual life being concerned with not getting pregnant. Well, now you're pregnant. So you can stop worrying about avoiding pregnancy and enjoy birth control-free sex with no nervous moments clutching a pea-soaked stick. The little moments of joy you share with your partner. The breathless delivery of the news, the excitement of telling family, Holding hands as you see your baby on the ultrasound for the first time. Cuddling in bed talking to your tummy. The mounting anticipation and preparations as the due date approaches. Having a baby transforms a relationship to a family. And it's a beautiful thing that unfolds in all these small ways over the course of the pregnancy. If you like this story, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like it, and share it with friends and family.